Hello everyone on YouTube. Just getting myself set up here, so don't mind me. I'm just going to log into our Facebook channel now, so we'll start the workout in about 1 minute. I'm just going to go live on our Facebook account as well. Video. Okay. Make sure everyone can see that. Drink of water. So worth having a drink of water at the ready. As ever, just to anyone not tuned in live, skip forward maybe a minute and we'll be into the session. I'm just going to give a minute there for everyone to tune in. So again, just if you're not live, just skip forward a minute. And I know we have people, Spain, Australia, America, so lots of different places. So welcome along, whatever part of the world you're watching from. Just keep an eye. Mary, how are you? Anne, hope Austin's keeping well. And also, just a little reminder before we start, we have our selfie competition. It just gives you a chance to win a free session, one-to-one with a trainer of your choice. The easiest way is probably just to send a picture of yourself doing the workout and just message it privately to the page. We know some people have had difficulty, so I think that's probably the easiest way, if you just message it privately to the Siel Bleu Ireland page. We can also email info@sielbleu.ie, but I think the messaging will probably be the easiest. So, Bernie, Jane, Norma, first time, be kind, don't worry. So, I think what we'll do is we'll get started. My name is Shane, I'm a South Dublin trainer. For this session, 2 o'clock, we like to keep things a little bit lighter, so there'll be nothing too intense in this. I'll try not to push too hard. We just want to keep this relaxed. All chair-based, just some light movements, just connect with some body parts and just feel a little bit looser and just feel a little bit better after the workout. So just checking there. Great stuff. Great to hear Austin's doing well and enjoying them. Maura, Mary, Anne, all very welcome. So as I say, just before I get in a loophole saying hello to everyone, we'll get straight in with some movements. So nice light one to begin. Just bring the shoulders up and down. And just remember, if you're new to this, just do whatever you're comfortable with. As I say, this will be a nice light session. I'll not go too hard on anyone today, especially on a Friday. Just think of some nice light movement, loosen the body out. Just trying to get ourselves just to feel a little bit better, just to feel a bit tight, stiff, maybe even a little bit anxious. This will hopefully all just relax us, just get us feeling a little bit better. Next, I'm going to roll the shoulders back, so I can think 4 parts to this. I go forward, up, back, and down. Okay, and if I just show you that from the side, so I go forward, up, back, and down. Now, when you try this first time, if this is a new movement, you might find it quite stiff and you can't kind of break it down like that. And that's absolutely fine. I want you to do just what you can. And I'm just showing you from the side, just to give you guys the best possible angle, just so you can see what I'm doing here. Pause, and I will now reverse motion. And again, I just see if I can kind of break it down in parts. I go back, up, forward, and down. So in a nice circle. But again, if you maybe found that movement very difficult, you could even just focus on one shoulder at a time. It's really just to get any movement at all here. Okay, next I'm just going to lightly shake the hands out. Just a little bit of movement from the wrists. Mary, Navin, great to have you with us. Hi, Carla. Just shake the hands out. Okay, just clench the hands together. Sorry, I keep jumping around, but just to give the best view here. And slowly bring the hands around in circles. Just think movement from your wrists. Let me just show you that from the side as well. I always say kind of in these sessions, just not to kind of forget about the little parts in our body, things like your ankles, your wrists. So important as well. And just back the opposite way. And I know, like when I teach classes, a movement like this can be really difficult. It can feel really stiff. Any movement at all here. So don't worry if you can't get a nice fluid circle here. It takes a little bit of practice, but just any movement at all in that wrist. Okay. Next, I'm going to bring my hands together. So I'm in a nice low position. And I just turn right and left. Now for me, when it comes to the back, I always like a nice gentle rotation to begin. So if I felt a bit tight, stiff, I want to avoid going really fast and kind of sharp with this movement. I just like to keep it nice and light, really just to loosen out, get a nice little stretch in the back. And again, one, as I say, just to get you feeling better, if you feel a bit tight, stiff, this is the kind of movement I like, just to kind of loosen everything out. Now, keeping hands together, raise the hands up just to a height you're comfortable and rotate again. So now I might feel a little bit higher up the back. But again, I keep it as a nice controlled rotation. What's nice about this is you're getting movement in your upper body. Think of your shoulders kind of going against the hips. So your hips are in a fixed position and your upper body just gets that nice gentle rotation from one side to the other. Okay, let's keep those hands together at a height that's comfortable. And I'll just go once more in each direction. And back down. Keeping my hands together. Just kind of looking straight ahead. Gently drop the arms between legs. Back up. You'll see I'm not letting my hands touch the floor. This is just about staying in a range that's comfortable. So I don't need to go too far. And again, this is just a nice gradual movement. Nothing too fast, nothing too intense here. Just gently dropping the arms down between legs. Okay. And then we're just going to move to the legs now. So very light first, just a little leg extension. We'll go into this movement maybe in a little bit more focus, but just for now, nice light movements. For me, with a warm-up, I always just try and keep it simple, just not to overthink the movements. It's just about gently bringing heart rate up, warming the body, loosening the joints. So never too technical in the detail, more just about loosening out and just preparing myself for some more challenging movements ahead. Next, I'll go into a nice light march. And again, my only real watch out here is just not to stamp the feet down. Just keep this nice and light as I lift the knees up. Again, I just avoid kind of stamping the feet down as I just go nice and light. Okay. And next, what I want to do is lift my right foot up. I can even hold on to the knee here for a little bit of support and gently bring the foot around in circles. So think movement from your ankle, slowly around. Again, anyone who's maybe had this session with me before, I like to go nice and slow, nice and light, and then back the opposite way. So just avoid, again, no sharp sudden twist. Very nice gentle rotation here. And back down, okay? And now I'll hold my left knee in place and a nice gentle rotation. So think movement from the ankle, slow circle, as slow as I can. I'm even a little bit fast here, so I slow it down and back the opposite way. And again, we will go into a bit more breakdown of some ankle movements in the session. Okay? And back. So just keep going a nice little light march to finish out your warm-up. And I'm just going to check, keep an eye on comments. Exercise at your pace. Next side. Yeah, that's exactly it. Just to go at your own pace. Just checking the comments there. So you said, just do everything at your own pace. It's not about kind of doing anything you're uncomfortable with. Do as much or as little as you're comfortable with. So let's go into some of our main movements, into kind of the main meat of the session, as it were. So nice one to start. I'm going to do a couple of presses and just try and engage with upper body, chest in particular. Hands up at about chest level, press forward and slowly back in. So just press forward, slowly back in. I'm just going to show you from different angles. Just a nice smooth press. So you'll see the angle. I stay in line with my chest as I press. And this for me is just about connecting with my chest. And if you said to me, you maybe feel a little kind of connection on the arms and shoulders, that's okay. They're kind of like your synergists. They're helping. They're secondary parts to this movement. They're helping out. But I just want a little bit of a connection with my chest as I press forward. I'll just get another 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. So just switching on to the chest there. Next one, we're going to think about maybe switching on our shoulders a little bit. So I'm going to break this down. My right arm is out. Clench the hands. Hand on tummy or on your chest here. Just keep it steady. And just gently rotate the arm back and rotate the arm forward. Never a sudden sharp twist. Just a nice slow rotation. And I'm going to keep the repetitions low because I'm going so slow with this movement. So we're just doing about 5 of these rotations. As slowly as far back as I can comfortably go. Slowly as far forward as I can comfortably go. So once more. Takes me a couple of seconds to rotate between the 2 positions. And down. Okay. And that's just a nice one before going into any kind of presses, things like that, which people typically have difficulty with. Shoulders, often kind of tightness, previous injuries. So I always find one like this a nice way to begin with the shoulder. Clench the left hand, just steady your body so there's no movement. Gently rotate back, gently rotate forward. So again, just about getting some movement from that shoulder, going as slowly as I can. And when I stay in that nice slow range, I kind of avoid any pain. So if I were to go fast, it might feel uncomfortable. If I keep it slow, I keep it under control. And say just a great way just to get a little bit of movement in those shoulders. And back down. Perfect. Okay. So again, just keeping an eye. Dunleary Deaf Group, very welcome along, Dunleary. Great to have you with us. Thanks, Emil. Yeah, I meant to say I wasn't sure if you were tuned in from Mullingar, but big shout out to Billy Mack and Mags. I know Billy Mack spins some good tunes, so if you have them in the background, that's absolutely fine. I hope you enjoy the session. So let's continue on. A little bit of a rowing. We've done chest, shoulders. I want to connect back of my body next. Okay. So sit yourself a little bit forward in the chair, nice and tall. You can see just how I'm not slouched. Straighten up my position, nice and tall. Arms out, hands faced up and pull back. So a rowing action. So again, we've done a press from our chest. We've connected with our shoulders. And now we think about the back of our body. So we're just kind of working all the major parts of our upper body. And for me, the simplest way to connect with my back is always just to begin with a rowing movement. Just to show you from behind, I keep the elbows in. I don't let them flare out. And I just pull back. So just a nice rowing action here. And we'll continue on for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Okay, and for me that always just feels really nice. So let's move down the lower body. What I want to do is a leg extension, but I'm going to make this a little bit different. You probably see this movement a lot, And just to show you how you can make it a little bit more challenging, I want to walk the feet out. You can see my feet are a little bit wider than the legs of my chair. What I'll do then is I hold a little bit of support and I extend my right leg first. So it's a movement we're probably very familiar with, a leg extension, but I'm just doing it from a slight angle. If this feels uncomfortable, bring your leg back in straight and that's fine. But I'm just doing this for a little bit of extra challenge. You might feel the hip a little bit more active with this one. And I'm feeling my thigh. Now, I kind of went through that fast because I was talking, but I'm just going to slow it down now. Think of a 1, 2, pause, back down. 1, 2, pause, back down. And again, you can hold your chair for a little bit of support. 4, 5, 6. And I have even a little bit of a shake as that leg holds out. That's a sign. It's just a good little challenge for that leg. 1, 2, back down. Swap to your left leg. Again, I'm still in that wide stance. If it's a little bit tough, bring them in a little bit narrower and that's fine. Left leg. Extend out. 1, 2, back down. You can see I'm just a little bit out of shot there. 1, 2, back down. So a movement, leg extension we're probably quite familiar with, but just a little adaptation to make it that little bit harder. Extend out. 1, 2, back down. And again, you might have a little bit of a shake in the leg as it goes out, and it's just coming at the leg from a slightly different angle, slightly different challenge. Let's do 2 more of these, and 1 more. 1, 2, and back down. Perfect. Now, I'm going to mention the ankles earlier, so I'll show you this one from the side. Again, I'm nice and tall in my chair. Feet just in a comfortable stance, and what I want to do is just begin lifting my heels up off the ground, even to 30 reps here, nice and high. So what I want to do is connect with the back of my lower legs, so my calves. I'm getting a nice movement in the ankles, and I'm connecting with the back of my lower legs here. So I just lift my heels nice and high up off the ground. For me, with this movement, I always find I have to go a little bit higher in the reps, like 20, 30, to really get any kind of connection. I think it takes 5, 10 reps just to warm up, get the ankles loosened, and just connect with the muscle on the back of the leg. So that's kind of my reasoning behind such high repetitions here. So let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, just walk the feet forward a little bit. Okay, staying nice and tall. And now I want to focus on the opposite action, lifting your toes. And again, I would find typically the first couple of reps feel tight, stiff. I can't get very much range. So again, I'm going to go quite high with the number of repetitions I perform here. So big lift up of the toes, back down. And you'll see my body is fixed, just that there's no kind of momentum. I keep my body fixed. And I just think front of my body. So I might feel along the front of my shins here as I lift those toes up. And again, really good for your ankles and fundamentals of walking. The first part, I think when you get out of bed in the morning, your feet flat to the floor. So just keeping that range, keeping mobility, keeping your heels, toes strong, really important. I'll get another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I'm just going to lightly kick the legs out there. Just give a little shake out. Might feel a little bit stiff. Just check how everyone's doing. Margaret from Mallow, great to have you with us. Okay, so back from my front position. Next one, what I want to do is lift my hands up and out to the sides. Okay, so you might even feel in that position, just kind of open out the chest a little bit. My hands are faced away, and I just press out to the side. So for me, this is just a really nice open position on the chest. And that's kind of our aim today. Just nice movements that just make us feel a little bit better, a little bit looser. Just nice blood flow around the body. Any kind of tightness, stiffness, it's Just want to feel a little bit better. Just to show you that from the side, palms of the hands are faced away from your body by your side, and you just lightly press out. And so even just maintaining that position, your chest in a nice open position. So we get 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. And just relax down. Perfect. So, and hopefully feel nice after that one. Next, if I fold my arms in front, just fold the arms. And this will be a little bit of movement in your shoulders. So again, I'm in a nice tall position. And I just bring the joint around in a full circle. So think of your arms gently rotating around in circles. So even though I look in front and I see my arms moving, really it's about movement of the shoulder. So maybe if you found those shoulder circles at the start very difficult, very tight, this is just another way of doing it, just getting movement in the shoulders. And the more movement we have in the shoulders, the looser they are. Think tasks like reaching up to a high press, just simple little things we do every day, hopefully a little bit easier. Reverse, change direction. Again, a nice slow movement. I don't want to go really fast or really high, just quite small. Creating those nice circles and that little bit of movement from my shoulders. And again, as much as I can, I keep the body steady. So it's just from the shoulders. Get the last maybe 2 loops here. And 1 more. Perfect. Okay. Next one. I want to try and connect with upper back and the back of my shoulders with this next movement. Again, this should be, one about just kind of feeling nice, feeling a little bit more open with this movement. Bring the arms in front. I think one is kind of in top above the other, rather. Slowly drive the elbows back and relax in. So again, I drive my elbows back and in. I'm just going to show you from a couple of different angles. So if I drive back and then from behind, drive back. Notice I'm not going to go kind of too vigorous here. Just a nice, gentle press back. And if I can just get a little bit of a squeeze between my shoulders, just actually feeling the body, the back part of my upper body, and I'm happy with this. Nothing needs to be too kind of vigorous. So we get 3, 2, and 1. And relax those arms down. Okay. Just take a nice, just gentle shrug of the shoulders up and down after that one. Just kind of loosen everything out. Keep it nice and light. And I think we'll move down to our hips next. So really well done so far, everyone. Doing really well with those movements. So as I said, it's just about trying to connect, feel parts of the body. Hopefully nothing too strenuous there, but just do what you're comfortable with. Next, my right foot up off the floor. And what I want to do is just try and connect with my hip a little bit here. So I keep my body steady, gently open the leg out, back and front. So again, anyone who's kind of done these 2 o'clock sessions with me, I like to give the hips plenty of movement. Just so important again, such an important part of the body, our hips. And again, just typically when I'm teaching classes, it's a common issue, just tightness in the hips. And just it'll kind of impinge maybe things like climbing the stairs, getting out of a chair. The hips can often be a problem here. So just loosening them out, just switching on, getting them a little bit looser can really help throughout your day. So just go for 2 more and 1 more. Perfect. Rest down. I'm going to go on my left side next. Foot up off the ground. Again, just remember, keep the body straight. So I don't want the body to turn. I want to keep it steady. And I'll just gently open the leg out. Now, I find, again, typically, if maybe this is your first time trying this movement, it's very tight. You can maybe only open a tiny little bit, and that's fine. Don't force it. With practice, it'll start to open out more. Even as you go along here, it might start to kind of lengthen in terms of how far you can open. So just stay in a range that's right for you. We're going another 3, 2, and 1. And back down. Perfect. So I think we'll do another little bit on the ankles here. So let me show you a little bit of setup here. Make sure that's in shot. So feet down flat on the floor, and you'll just notice I bring my feet together. So bring the feet right together, and all I want to do is point my toes right and left. So I often say to people, those ankle circles we did at the start, if you find a circle difficult, loads of clicking, cracking, this is a movement you can do instead. Just point the toes side to side. It's a good first point to start with the ankles. Just movement. That's what the ankles are there for. Movement, walking, changing direction. So I'm just pointing side to side. Again, just go as far as comfortable, keeping the feet roughly together. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, I make this a little bit more difficult. I just walk the feet back a little, still together. Now try and lead the movement from your heels. So point the heels right, point the heels left. And generally this one might feel a little bit tighter. It's generally easier to move the toes and a little bit harder when we lead from the heels. But I'm not too worried if this is really tight, really stiff. Just to get any movement. And we'll just go another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. And then just bring the legs out and just gently kick the legs. I'm kind of thinking them weightless. Just kick the legs up, down, just loosen them out. Stretch them there. And then back down. Just about a little blood flow after that one. And I'm just scratching my leg there. Okay, so next. I think we'll go for another rotation here. So this is one I like to do just to break down a little bit of movement. So what I'm going to do is just bring my 2 hands together, straight out in front. And what I'll do is just focus on one side. So I'm going to turn my body to this side, to my right. Just turn to the right, reset in the middle. Turn to the right and reset. So I'm just focusing on one side for the moment. And again, think like that's what your body does in the day. We turn, we change direction, and I'm just breaking this movement down. I want to avoid a kind of sharp, sudden twist and going really fast. This is just a really nice controlled rotation. And I'm breaking it down, just turning to the right. And I'll just get 3 more. Feels a bit heavy, a bit tough. Relax the arms in. 2. And 1. And just rest down. Take a few seconds. Now I'll focus on the left side. So again, hands together, arms out. If the arms feel a bit heavy, just relax them in. Don't want this one to be too tough. Rotate to the left and back in front. And what you might notice when you break the movement down, instead of going side to side, you might just find one side is a little bit tighter, a little bit stiffer. And just by breaking it down like this, you're just paying that little bit of attention to the one side. So I can feel here myself that turning to the left is just a little bit tighter, a little bit stiffer. I can't quite go as far. Whereas if I had just gone side to side, I wouldn't really have picked up on this. As I get 2 more. And once more. And back in. Okay. So do just another couple of movements and then into our cool down. As I like to not keep these sessions too long. So last couple of movements. Hopefully all okay so far. I'm going to give you another little challenge on the ankles, and I think this is best from the side. Okay, so right foot up off the floor. You'll see my foot is up. And again, this is about breaking the movement down. One action that I want you to try here is lifting the toes of that right foot. So up and relax. Up and relax. So you'll see how this is a lot more difficult. If my 2 feet were flat on the ground and I just lifted, it wouldn't be so hard. When I lift the leg up and break it down, just focusing on the lift. It gets a bit tougher. If you want it, give yourself a little bit of support. That's absolutely fine on this one. I'm just really working the ankle, breaking the movement down, just focusing on the lift. I think when you're walking, the lifting parts of your toes, lifting up. And again, we often know it's so important so we have that nice spring in our feet, lots of movements. And rest down. Take a few seconds. We're going to work on the same side, but with a different movement. Lift your foot up again. If it feels a bit heavy, do just support the leg. Okay. Now, focus on pointing the toes down. Just pointing the toes down. Okay. So we're breaking it down. We did up. Now we focus on down. I'm just pointing the toes down towards the floor. I'm keeping that leg up and I'm giving it support if I'm finding this quite tough, which we might. Get 3, 2, 1, and back down. Try from the opposite side. Again, no need to swing your chair like I do there. You're facing the camera, I hope. I'm just showing you guys the best angle. Okay, so again, let's break down the mechanics on our left side. Again, lift the toes first. So that's my action, lifting. Leg feels a bit heavy, I feel uncomfortable, hold on. Nothing wrong with that. Just give yourself a bit of support and just focus on the lifting action. My toes pointing up, lifting up to the ceiling. Again, I'm just working on that one side, focusing on the lifting action. Again, so important, just that we have our feet strong, ankles strong, moving, mobile. As you get 2 more, and 1. Rest down, take a few seconds. And now we'll do our pointing to the floor. So again, same left foot lifts. Hold on if you need. Point the toes down. So now the only action is pointing down. My toes point to the floor. So again, what can seem like a very simple action maybe on the ground of just lifting heels, lifting toes, we break it down, we lift the leg up and make it a little bit more challenging. But again, such an important part of walking. Just our toes, our heels, our calf. To do 2 more and 1 and rest down. Okay, so really well done for those. Like, they're not easy. Anyone will find those difficult. So really well done with that movement. Let's just go for a nice chest opener. So what I'm going to do is bring my right arm out to my side, clenched hand. And what I want to do is just gently rotate away. So I'll kind of show you that again. I'm nice and tall, arm out, hand clenched, and my head and upper body gently rotate away from the hand. So I feel a little bit of a stretch in my chest here. And then I'll come back. So I'll break that into a kind of nice fluid movement. Rotate away and back in. And this might be worth zooming in on, sorry, because you can see that the best. Arm is out, okay, clenched hands, upper body / head, rotate away. And again, nothing too vigorous here, just a nice light rotation away. My end goal is to turn away as far as I comfortably can from that hand. So upper body and head, rotate away. And I just feel a little stretch in that chest, but nothing too harsh, light little movements. So get 1 more, and back down. Let's swap sides. When my left arm is out, I like to clench the hand as ever. So just think this upper part of my body / head will rotate or turn as far as away from that hand as I comfortably can. So again, rotate away. And I just feel a little opening along my chest here. Rotate away. Again, just breaking that down nice and slow, not a harsh twist. Gentle rotation. I would expect this to be a really small movement, a matter of centimeters here. That's all it takes, just to get a little bit of a stretch, opening in that chest. We'll get 2 more, and 1 more, and back down. Okay, so So a really nice one, opening out the chest. Just how we all doing there. Last, 4. That's great. Thanks very much, Linda. Yeah, hopefully you find that beneficial. I can do more of that. I try and talk groups like through some of the movements, what they may be doing, and I find people then maybe connect with them a little bit better, and if you know what it helps with, it can work. So I'm glad you find that beneficial, and really well done. Some tough enough little challenges in there, so really good work. Well done to yourselves. So as I said, last couple of movements. I'll not hold you too long on a Friday. Let's go next with, I think, another little bit of shoulders. I'm going to do this one from the side, and I'm going to break it down one arm at a time. So I just want to focus on my right side, and we're going to go up and back. I've probably done this one before, but it's worth a little bit of attention. Nice and tall, hand on your chest. And I just want to bring the arm back and then raise in front. So go back and raise in front. Key to this, my body stays straight. So there's no rocking forward and back. There's no arch. There's no bend. It stays straight. And I just bring the arm back as far as I comfortably can. And I raise in front. So again, for me, if you're somebody with a bit of tightness in the shoulders, for example, reaching up was really difficult, and generally it just feels a bit kind of tight, stuck, grates a little bit, this is a nice light movement. Again, something often that gets neglected is extension of the shoulder, which is where we go backwards, and that can just help loosen out. And again, I'm raising in front. I'm not going to go overhead today. I'm just going to reach in front. And the reason, again, I like to keep hand on chest is just to stop my body from moving. So I don't want any kind of sway or momentum. I'm fixed in position. And I just gently raise in front and slowly back. So I just want to feel this in the shoulder. And back. Rest down. Swap sides. Again, just think kind of rest of your body is just fixed in position, arm by your side. Just make sure kind of outside if you have the arm of the chair there. And again, gently backwards, gently forward. And again, I'm not going to go above shoulder level today. We go back and forward. So the only thing, again, as I say, just avoid any kind of a swing. I don't want the swing or body rotation. Just a very controlled. Just slowly raise in front, slowly go back. And just keeping that arm just roughly nice and straight. The arm should feel nice and light. And if this was really tight, perhaps if you had a shoulder injury, I would limit the range. If that's all I could do, that's where I would start. I wouldn't force it. If I feel comfortable, I start to build up. You can see how I go from very small and start building up. And then eventually, maybe we can get a fuller range in. We'll just do once more. And back down. Perfect. So sometimes it's simple little things like that, a little bit of movement, maybe just loosen out the shoulder, get them feeling a little bit better, looser, and hopefully then make tasks just around the kitchen, around the house, a little bit easier when you're doing them. So we'll just go into a couple of stretches, fully relax the bodies down. I'm always jumping around in the chair, sorry, but just want to give the best view. I'm going to sit up nice and tall, grab a hold of the knee, and gently raise that knee up towards chest. Now, I know for some people this will feel tight, and my cue would be if you kind of find you're shaking, this is really tough, relax the position a little bit. And for me, the stretching should be nice and light, nothing too vigorous. This is just about relaxing the body. So just hold the position that feels good to you. And relax it and hold. Now, while holding that position, I want you to lift the toes up. Feel a little stretch back of the leg. And then I want you to do the opposite and point the toes down to the floor. And relax. Let's try from the left. Again, just set yourself, make sure you feel comfortable. Left knee up. Hold on to that knee. Again, if this feels tight, you're kind of shaking, it's hard to hold, just relax it out. Don't force the knee too high. Just so you can see there. Lift the toes up and hold. And then gently just point the toes down and hold that stretch. Hopefully you can see there, not blocking the camera too much. And back down. Okay, I'm going to show you one more in this position. And this will be one for the hamstrings, back and leg. I'm going to show you this one. So, same kind of setup as the last stretch. Lift your right knee up, hold position. Instead of holding the knees, I want to bring hands to the back of my leg. So we can see that on camera. Hold the back of your leg and gently straighten the leg out. Now, I know for a lot of people, you'll go here and that'll feel as far as you can go. And that's fine. Hold it there. Don't force kind of through pain to straighten the leg out. Just hold what feels good to you and relax in. And I'll try that again. Straighten out, hold. But again, don't feel you have to match my leg here. I used to feel really tight with hamstrings. With a little bit of practice, I've gotten them a little bit looser now. Back in and down. Just finish that same on the left side. Again, nice lift of the knee. Hands on the back of your leg. So again, that's my position. Hold back of the leg. Gently straighten out. And again, I would expect for some people, like that's as far as you can go. And this guy here, your hamstring feels tight. Just hold it there. Don't force through any pain. Bring it back in. And then once more, straighten out. But I just want to show the lengthened version. So eventually I might start to get kind of full stretch. But don't force this position. So it will feel tight for some people. Not going to force it. Back down. Okay. So that's upper or lower body finished stretching. Just going to work the upper body, a couple of stretches. Arms across chest. Pull back out in that nice W shape. So I open out the chest and I feel a little squeeze between shoulder blades. Hold a couple of seconds and relax in. We'll do that twice more. Pull back, open out, nice W position. And back. And once more, open the arms out. Imagine if you had a marker there, you could draw a W from my left hand over to my right hand along my chest. And back. Okay. Just do shoulders next, just to finish out. What I want to do, we'll keep this simple actually. Lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Hold position for a couple of seconds. Just that simple act of holding the shoulders up. And now instead of just dropping them, think of actively pulling down. Imagine I wanted to get these shoulders tucked into my pockets here, into my hips. Now, obviously that's going to be impossible to do, but I'm actively pulling down. That's what I'm trying to emphasize. And again, let's try that once more. And lift the shoulders up towards ears. Hold. And then actively pull down. So it's not just that they sit here. I actively pull down. Imagine trying to bring your shoulders into your hip pockets here. Hold. And then relax. Kind of soften the stance. And we'll just finish out with a little bit of breathing. Just to relax down. Simple. Elbows in by your side. So that's my position. That's my stance. Hands face each other. And this is also a really nice movement of the shoulders. It's called external rotation, where we kind of lift outwards like that. So big deep breath in. And then release. So you can see I'm just getting a turn or a rotation from the shoulders. And again, this can be tight for people. Work with your own range. Big deep breath in. And release. Again, big deep breath in. In through nose, back out through mouth. Two more. Once more. And back down. Okay, so that's our session for today. Really well done. Thanks everyone for joining in. I hope you enjoyed that. I know people have done a lot of workouts throughout the week. Some of us are new to this, so really well done. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 11. Paul will have a mobility stretch session. So take care. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. But really well done, everyone. Facebook and YouTube. So I'll finish that now. And YouTube, well done. Bettystown, very good. Friend out in Bettystown. Great to have you with us. Hope you enjoyed that. Well done, everyone on YouTube.